problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Able to get away. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Here's Jones. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Fielded at about the 28. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Always knew he'd be a gym rat, very cerebral player, a guy that beats you with his mind as well as his physical attributes. But the best part, poise under pressure. He knows how to bring a team back in the 4th quarter.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 4th. And right away, he lost the football.
You see me, they can't stop me.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Ryan. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Nice hit, boy.
On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And the first drive, 3. Out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, get a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
On second down, it's Jones. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Here we go. 50-60 Pittsburgh.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Bravo.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's go.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking end zone for Jones. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the penalty, it's Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And James has it. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
2nd and 11. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that 1st round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a 1st-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that 1st-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Ryan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 1st down marker at the 11. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it with Jones. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now a handoff looking right. And some room to work. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That burst good for 20 and a first down. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
30 base. 6-6, pull it high.
Now a first down carry by Jones. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. He'll drop to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Running right, Jones. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 15. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18. From the shotgun. Ryan. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
We got it. We got it.
On the ready.
The mic. 45's the mic. Yeah, that's what I do. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Watch twitch.
Fine.
On 1st down, Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Hey, watch it. Watch it. Safe.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Hey,
Here's 2nd and 8. It's caught here by Adams. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Coming for you, son.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are on the board first here tonight. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. From the 25 on 2nd down, Ryan. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, 75 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So only even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Single.
On 2nd and 9. Ryan, that's into the hands of Reynolds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Packers get set to go. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check back.
2nd and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Keanu Neal. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Ryan. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, that's taken in, complete to Reynolds. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Ryan to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Some very intriguing games in that early window, highlighted by the one going on at the Superdome. A big test for the Saints as they'll get set to tangle with the Minnesota Vikings. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Chicago Bears. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack block.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Well, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. James has got it. Complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 12-yard touchdown run as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So that drive, 7 plays in length. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ready,
59, 59. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. That's caught. It's Robert Tonyan, the tight end.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Jones. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4. To throw on 3rd down. Ryan. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
He'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a play fake here on first down. This one caught by Ridley. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
They tried to run the hitch route there, and the play was broken up by really nice reactions by the defender. But what you're trying to do on the hitch is sell a deeper route because the best receivers running a hitch route explode off the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to take it deep and then pull up very quickly. So it takes a lot of agility, a lot of nimbleness in order to stop that fast. And in this case, the defender was right there and made the same reaction.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Now Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Falcons grab it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Ready, get ready. Mike 25. 59. Mike to 59. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Ready, set it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they'll run on the draw. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Ryan. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
This pass complete to Reynolds. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 21-14. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He got 29 yards that time. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
51, Sam!
Looking to throw on second down. Ryan is complete to Jones. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. I don't think you got it.
They go play action with Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's how we do it.
Well, they only had a yard to go. They tried to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
We got this.
Well, that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a one-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. 2nd and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw, and he comes back with one complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The end result, 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, Oregon, hurry up.
They'll set up to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
He's checking.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
Down. 18 Gator. 59.
Hey, here we go.
Get up. Ready?
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Ready. Turn 2 stop.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Here's 2nd and 8. Escaping the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost.
Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. He's at the 30, the 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it.